Hola y bienvenidos a Amores Patos. Hi, welcome to Amores Patos.
I'm your host, Anna.
And I'm your host, Faby.
This is a podcast where two best friends get together and talk about
duck facts,
duck lore,
duck anger management,
and DuckTales. It's been so long since we recorded. Like, this episode will come out
pretty soon. Yeah.
After the Gandra D one.
Yes.
But for us, it's been forever.
We had winter break in the middle.
Yeah, so it's been a month.
Months?
At least a month.
Yeah.
Maybe more. A month and a half.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Damn.
I feel like singing the Muppet song,
I don't even know
Together again. To-do. That's all I know about that song. I don't remember the words exactly.
Together again. Gee, it's good to be together again. I just can't imagine that you've ever been gone. It's not starting over, it's just going on.
Muppet Takes Manhattan.
Okay, I don't know Muppets.
I know, you have to watch Muppets Take Manhattan. Listeners, watch Muppets Take Manhattan. It's good shit.
Okay.
Good
I
shit.
believe you.
It's good. Razor the Rat is there. Anyway.
Okay. Sorry, I just saw your trash can from Far From Home and I got mad.
It's not mine.
Who's this?
It's someone else's.
Okay.
We're recording in my apartment, and
Yes.
it's a popcorn bin, not a trash can.
It looks like a trash can.
It's a popcorn bin, probably, with those Far From Home stuff on it.
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
And we just had a heated discussion about Disney villains. Oh my god, no.
And Marvel villains.
Marvel villains.
And how we don't like the oversaturation of Marvel.
Yeah. I had a headache watching Far From Home.
Yeah.
But that might have been because of the visual.
It may be. There's a lot going on.
Yeah. Spoilers. It's been like
vague spoilers. There's a lot going on.
a lot going on. It is dizzying.
It is.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're not talking about Far From Home. We are talking about Season 2, Episode 17.
Yes.
Whatever Happened to Donald Duck.
Ooh, that made me feel like an old-timey reporter.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
We have our hands
Yeah.
crossed, so it feels very official. So the story for this episode was by Frank Angonis, Madison Bateman, Colleen Evanson, Christian Makelhays, and Bob Snow. It was written by Colleen Evanson. Fabi's doing fun hand gestures.
I'm voguing.
She's voguing, I'm sorry. The storyboards were by Jean-Sébastien Duclos. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, I'm sorry. I've pronounced it probably 5 different ways.
Yeah, let us know.
I'm doing my best if somebody knows. Victoria Harris, Sam King, and Jason Riker. And it was directed by Jason Riker and Jason Zurich.
Ooh, Jasons.
2 Jasons. How did they tell them apart?
I don't know.
They probably look different.
I know, but like, at least when like in our family names, even if you're named the same, you're not gonna have the same name.
Oh no, there's 3 Annalises in my family. 4 Rosemarys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have technically 4 Marias.
Nice.
One is a guy, but we never call them, which is weird because this happens with you too.
What?
Like we call like my tia Chuy, we call her Chuy, but like her friends, including her boyfriend, call her like Maria.
Yeah.
And which happens with you too
Yeah.
when I go with your family.
Oh, that's right. No, yeah, because everyone in the U.S. calls me Anna,
Uh-huh.
but my full name's Anna Nicole, so all my family calls me Nicole.
Yeah, and I'm like, who's that?
Yeah. And nobody calls me Anna. My brother calls me Anna to annoy me. Like, he'll be like, Anna. Fucking punch him. Anyway, our watches.
Yes.
Matilda McDuck watch. The less said, the better. And those 2 guys who sing and played music to the dogs on a date, but like one of them, and he's a pig. He's not here.
Wait, you got a nice little place here. Only hotel, I'm never stay inside.
I got the most of that without laughing. I'm proud of myself.
I like the visual of that.
I was thinking about Lady and the Tramp. And
Why?
how my brother was talking about how he didn't like the fact that there's a live action version.
No.
I learned that they talk like Airbuds.
I hate all of those movies. Some people are like, oh, that's my child. I'm like, I fucking hate all of those movies.
For little kids, fine, whatever. Fine. If you're 10 and younger, fine. But yeah, apparently the dogs, the Lady and the Tramp, and others, I guess, they talk like the Airbuds do, and which is nightmarish. The only one that can do that is Beverly Hills Chihuahua, and they're on thin fucking ice.
No, because when we went to Disneyland, I showed you the stuffed dogs, and they weren't like the cute, like, Lady and the Tramp.
Were they the live action
They were
versions?
the live action ones. That's why I was like, ew, look at this.
They need to be like Lion King live action, in quotes, it's CGI, and just re-release all of the animated plush and all the animated like merch to capitalize off of the renewed interest in Lion King.
Yeah.
Because who cares about the fucking live action? Live action, bullshit!
And
it's CGI. It's animated.
Does anyone really like Lady and the Tramp that much?
No. Yes, someone does. There's someone out there whose entire bedroom is Lady and the Tramp. Their whole bedroom.
Oh no.
The bed sheets, the carpet, the pillows, the walls are decorated with little ladies and the tramps.
I remember, oh no, like watching the sequel. More.
The sequel?
Yeah, the kids. It's all about...
Oh, right. It's like that one, the German Shepherd dog or something.
Yeah.
Scamp?
Scamp something adventure. His sisters all look the same. Again, I don't know why my parents bought me sequels of movies. I had that one. Yeah. I had The Little Mermaid 2. I had Fox and the Hound 2, which I don't like. And I had
Little Mermaid 3 is good.
Which was that one?
That's You Learn What Happened to Her Mom.
I haven't seen that one.
It's good. It's like after, because like the mom, Athena, gets like killed by pirates or some shit.
Oh, no.
It's like vague. It's like the pirates are coming. Go, everyone has to hide. She can't get away. Pirates. She dies. It's implied. And like she really likes music, and so King Triton's like, okay, music is banned.
Okay.
And then like Sebastian has like a secret underground speakeasy where they play music, and then Ariel finds out, and then she gets on board, and then music is allowed again. Whatever.
Yay.
I forget. Yeah.
I also had 101 Dalmatians too, which is kind of like it reminds me a lot of Bolt. The same kind of like TV dog-esque kind of plot line going
I don't think I ever watched the sequel. I think I watched 101 Dalmatians once. I watched the live action version a lot more. They put Cruella de Vil in a cake.
Ooh, I don't remember that. Yeah. I watched it a long time ago.
It might have been the first or the second one where they put her in a cake. I don't remember.
Like the actress who plays her.
Yeah, what's her face?
Catherine O'Hara? Is it her?
Maybe, yeah.
If we're wrong, who cares?
Okay. We're bad.
She's great, yeah.
We're bad. We're wrong.
But no, yeah.
So, I guess enough about...
Our mic keeps collapsing.
Our mic keeps falling. It's cool, though. I guess enough about... whatever that was.
Sequels.
Talking about DuckTales.
Yes.
It's been a while.
I know.
Alright, so, where we last left our heroes, Donald was trapped inside the sphere of Selene, rocketing towards the moon. He crashed on the moon and taken hostage by the Moonlanders. And nobody in the family knows. No. Because for some reason, Della didn't go to check on her ship when she crash-landed in the woods. Yeah. And Scrooge wasn't like, oh, there's gold in that shit? I'm going there right now. Like,
what do you mean that whole ship's made out of gold? It's my thing.
It's
I
my
can
thing.
go get it.
Yeah. I'm just gonna leave this highly dangerous spaceship that clearly someone can just get in and launch themselves to the moon on accident.
Yeah, I would have sued. I would have been dead, but I would have sued.
Your ghost would have sued. You could do that. Ghosts probably have rights.
Yeah, hell yeah. Oh my god, next season. That's what they're
Jesus, Duckworth is gonna sue someone. Weekly for killing him.
Oh my god, yes. Oh
anyway, would you sue? You'd probably charge her with murder, not sue her. Maybe sue her.
Just, like, he's not charging her with murder because he's okay, but he's kind of inconvenienced, so he's gonna sue her for that. True. Yeah. You know?
Alright, so, Dolls on the Moon. And so we have Lunaris and Penumbra and, like, all these Moonlander guys gathered below them because Lunaris and Penumbra are on top of their humongous statue.
Yes. And that statue changes sizes sometimes.
Does it?
It's a different statue.
It's a different angle.
It looks huger sometimes.
It's big. I don't know. You know what? That's the same statue they had like the Spirit of Selene up against, so it's big.
Okay.
Yeah, and so he's all like, the Earth sucks, and we're better, and we got a spy.
Yes.
Like, he's all this build up, like he's building up all this fear of the Earth in them.
I think he specifically says, like, you were betrayed by your friend, and then someone's like, boo, I dislike the Earth.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, very much like creating all this
hatred
for the Earth, like, with Della as like the scapegoat, like she betrayed us, she's taking all of our secrets, and they're planning an invasion, and here's the proof.
Yeah, like here's the spy that they sent as proof that they're planning an attack.
Yeah.
And we get Donald.
It's Donald, yeah.
Mighty Moonlanders, you who were betrayed by our so-called friend, Della Duck, from the foul and pathetic Earth.
I have a distaste for the Earth!
Now we have captured a cunning Earth spy who has confirmed our greatest fears. The Earthers plan to invade. Behold, the most dangerous threat we've ever faced. The brother of the traitor, Della Duck.
Della? Where? Hey, what's the big idea? What did he say?
He said, death to the moon!
So Penumbra drags Donald up so the Moonlanders can see him, and he has like his hands chained behind his back, and like he looks kind of defeated, which is fair considering he's been stranded on the moon. But once Lunaris like introduces who he is, like this is the traitor, is the brother of the traitor Della Duck, I think he calls her.
And he's like, what?
Yeah, like, and he's like, Della? Like, he's gonna be like, oh, fuck. Like, Della? Because he never got to see her.
No.
Like, he saw the ship, he went to the ship, immediately got sent to the moon. So he hasn't seen her.
No.
Like, and he only assumes she's alive. And now he knows.
Yeah. He starts basically calling out for Della. He's like, like, is she here? And then a Moonlander is like, what did he say?
Because, Donald Duck speak. They can't understand him. And Lunaris is like, he said, death to the moon! Definitely!
My God.
To keep anyone from actually hearing him speak, because he could probably be like, no, what the fuck? I just got stranded here by accident.
Yeah.
I'm not a spy.
No.
He puts a gold clamp around Donald's beak.
Yes. And then he goes on to say the whole, like, we are the mighty, we are the moon.
Yeah.
There's, like, chanting from the people for a bit. He goes on to basically reward Penumbra for capturing this spy. Even though Penumbra's kind of like, it wasn't me.
I wasn't there, and I don't think he's a spy.
Yeah. And so he gives her, like, this little, like, badge.
He promotes her.
Yeah, he promotes her to captain.
Captain, yeah.
And he goes on top of her little, like, medallion thing that she has already on her chest.
Yeah. And she points out to him, like, sir, like, that's not true.
Yeah.
Like, none of that happened. And he's like, well, that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It matters what they believe. And they believe you.
Yeah. And then he goes like, isn't that what you wanted? Like, their attention.
Yeah, to be a hero again. Because they're chanting her name and everything.
And she's like, oh no, like,
she
regret.
She like smiles awkwardly, like, yeah, totes! And yeah, so definitely it's her. She's not happy with this. Because she's very much aware now that Lunaris is lying to their people, for one. And,
she feels bad.
She feels bad. Yeah, because, like, she's going along with this ruse. Yeah. And it's going to lead to war.
And we see that, she actually cares about the other Moonlanders.
Yes, and Lunaris does not.
No.
Like, at all. He's fine with tricking them flat out, so. And then we go back to Earth, see what's going on down there.
Scrooge is doing something that I've always wanted to do, but I have fat fingers, so I can't. He's doing, like, his version of a ship in a bottle, which is like the money
diorama
bin.
Of the money bin.
It's cute.
It is cute. He's like having some me time.
Yeah. He's like, I want to go work on my dioramas.
Yeah. Nobody talk to me. And so he's doing this very quiet, and he's like, whatever. But then Dewey bursts in and almost fucks it all up. And we see he's like determined to prove like that there's a conspiracy theory, that there's some sort of mystery to solve.
The photo evidence here proves it, and we see the photo of like the 3 eggs. Yeah. And suddenly there's like a yellow eggish shape behind them.
Yeah, and it's like it's the mystery of the missing 4th To which Scrooge is like, that's a mustard stain. And it's I can't fucking believe they brought Phooey in.
I know.
We could have had a fucking Phooey watch and it'd be valid. I fucking hate that.
And then
So-
it would have happened twice.
It would have. Fuck me. Anyway. So, Phooey Duck.
We put our eggs in the wrong basket.
We did. Or the right ones, you could say. And then we're immediately...
Yeah.
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 Wait, what, Feathery... Was anyone else a Feathery? Like, right? Daisy, I think we're talking about having a Daisy and a Goofy watch.
Yeah.
And then Comic-Con's like, hey, losers! We got him! I'm like, fuck you guys. But, so Phooey Duck does not actually exist.
Yeah.
Sort of. Because Phooey Duck is what people call a color printing error in the comics, where sometimes a fourth nephew is just added by accident to a drawing in the comics, or they give, or instead of the typical, red, green, blue, right? Yeah.
Yes.
For the nephews, they give one yellow.
Yeah.
And it's like sisters started calling that nephew Phooey. This like mysterious fourth nephew. And I can't believe they brought it into this.
That's funny.
It's really fun. And then it goes back again.
I know.
I'm like, Jesus.
And I had to, literally pause it and explain to my brother what a Phooey Duck was. He's like, oh, okay.
What that entity is.
Yeah. He exists, and yet he doesn't.
Yes. He's in a constant state of flux.
Oh, my God. So, Dewey's determined.
Yes.
He's like, who ate a sandwich next to the photo?
Yes. And then we see, it's like, Phooey strikes again! And we see that Webby's kind of on the same kind of vein as Dewey right now. She comes in with her own big mystery, which is actually factual.
Yeah.
Like that the McDuck family tree, lines up to points on a map, and it'll lead to, the silver sporn of Clan McDuck.
Yes.
And a sporn is, a little, fanny pack that Scottish Highlanders wear. It's, traditional Scottish regalia. It's, a fanny pack.
And Scrooge is like, yeah, I already found that, thanks, though.
Yeah, it's right over there on this, suit of armor.
Yeah.
And they're like, god dang. But yeah, Dewey's still determined. He's, he's pulling shit out of thin air. He's like, family tree. Like, what goes on trees? Peppers.
And then Scrooge is like, no.
No. And he keeps going. And Bickley hasn't bought peppers in years.
And then Webby's like, ghost peppers.
Yeah. And they go to, run off to solve a non-existent mystery.
I was hoping they would just eat ghost peppers, because they're the worst.
Jesus. Scrooge should just let them.
Yeah.
It's like,
whatever.
Some peace and quiet. But he has to impart some advice.
Yes.
And it's that they can't go just making up mysteries and adventures when there's nothing there.
Yeah. Adventure will call to you.
Yes.
Hold on. I can pull a mystery out of this. Mustard stain. Mustard is in the fridge. Family tree. What grows on trees? Peppers, I assume. But Beakley hasn't bought peppers in years. Ghost peppers! It's all connected!
Let's go!
Hang on. An adventure has to call to you. You can't just go around making up mysteries.
And they're kind of talking, Webby says, we spent so long on the mystery of the spear of Celine and Della Duck that, now that she's here, we're kind of we're looking for something.
Yeah, we're fishing for adventure and mystery now, and
At that time, Huey walks by.
Yeah.
Stands in front of the
Pauses.
door.
Pauses very obediently in the doorway.
My postcard to Donald Duck, his uncle, never got there or got returned.
Yeah, I got sent back.
Yeah.
That's weird.
It keeps going.
It keeps going. Dropping this crucial bit of plot information and keeps going. And then obviously that entices Dewey and Webby, and they're like, oh, there's a mystery afoot and whatever. And they go running off, and Dewey slams the door, and it collapses Scrooge's little diorama of the money bin.
Yeah.
Which I feel like is a bad omen.
Yeah. I'm like, oh my god.
Oh no. Okay. Yeah, so we have then determined to go solve a mystery.
Yeah, missing persons mystery.
Yeah, I guess. Because, yeah. And I thought we'd be getting more into them wondering where Donald is.
Yeah, I thought this was gonna take a couple episodes.
Yeah.
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 But
then, yeah.
we'll talk about it.
Talk about that
later.
Haha. So we're back on the moon.
Mm-hmm.
I really like this scene.
I was like, moon train.
Yeah,
love that.
Yeah, moon train. Just like the the atmosphere of it. It's cool because it's Donald on this gold moon train, and it's like just crossing like the empty abyss of space, and we see all these ships that they're basically half built, and there's a lot of them.
Yes, and I keep loving like all the terrain has like the bits of gold through it. Yeah, I'm like I love that. But so we see all these half-finished ships, a lot of them, and then you get to see he's going to prison. Yes, so we see him go inside, and he gets thrown in a cell in which everything's made of gold.
Yes. We have, there's a poster on the wall that says, remember you're here forever, right? Oh, no, remember there's no way out. And it's this gold image of, like, Lunaris. And which Donald immediately crumples and, like, starts, like...
He's, like, shaking the bars. Yeah. And I like this because sometimes the complaint with cartoons is that the bars look obviously wide enough for the character. Yeah.
And he does try to squeeze his way out.
But he can't.
Does not fit.
And then they're crisscrossed. Yeah. So they're not just, like...
Yeah, just like the lines.
Yeah.
So it's fun. They're like crisscross and shit. And so we can't fit, so he like kind of shoves himself out and hits his head against the rock wall. And it crumbles a bit. And he's like, oh shit! Perfect plan! I'm going to cause myself blunt force trauma by ramming my head into this wall until I die or I create some sort of opening.
He's gonna use his head.
Yeah.
What's the movie?
Toy Story.
Okay, that's
Toy Story 2.
Oh, it's horrible. They're torturing him. What are we gonna do, Buzz?
Use your head.
But I don't want to use my head.
I was like, because we were talking about Shrek, and for some reason I thought it was about Shrek.
Not Toy Story 2.
Okay. I also watched that movie first before watching the original Toy Story.
It's valid. It's better.
Yeah, it is good. Yeah. But I was confused. And
You'd be confused. Woody is not nearly as much of a dick.
I know. That's why when I went back and watched the first one, I was like, what the fuck?
He's so awful. It's great. Anyway.
Donald.
Yeah, so Donald is... Yeah. He's ramming into the wall. And obviously doesn't do shit. And we see Lunaris and Penumbra come in, and he hastily tries to cover up the slight crack he made in the wall with the poster, like Shawshank Redemption, I think.
Yes, but it keeps falling.
They don't really look at him, though.
No, because Penumbra and Lunaris conveniently come in front of him to have a conversation. Yes. And I love that.
As predicted, the people's spirits have been raised by the capture of the traitor Della's brother. The soldiers are trading twice as hard for our invasion.
Permission to speak freely, sir. Do you really think our people are ready for war?
Because he's saying that since the spy arrived, the troops have been training twice as hard for the invasion to Earth. And obviously Penumbra she's still not cool with this. She's like, do you really think our people are ready for war? Yeah. Like, she's straight up about it, which is really interesting.
They've never seen combat. Yeah. They know nothing. And they know nothing about Earth.
Yeah, none of them do. Yeah. Like, as far as she knows, like, none of them know. Like, and then, so this rebellion, this invasion they're planning, like, I mean, they have no information.
No. All that she says, like, all we have are Della's dumb stories.
Yes.
And then Lunaris is like, don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Like we know later that he knows a lot about Earth.
He does. But he's not telling her that. No. He's just repeats this kind of phrase that they've used, that we are the mighty, we are the moon. Yeah. And it's like, that's not an answer, dude! But I think Crusoe thinking he encroaches on her space a lot.
Yes. And I like what she says. She goes, permission to speak. And without, like, waiting for him, she just goes for it. Yeah.
Because, she doesn't think this is a good idea. No. But she doesn't fight him on it anymore after this. And they see Donald. He finally got the poster to keep hanging up, and he's, like, whistling. Yeah. Casual whistling.
He's, like, leaning against the bed.
Yeah. Which is also gold.
Yes. And then Lunaris is like, oh, so you're having such a fun time just rotting in prison. Yeah. Like, why don't we make you work in the gold mines then? Yeah.
And so he's like, Penumbra, take care of it. Yeah. And he walks off. And Penumbra's like, all right, okay, no problem. And she, like, unlocks the cell, and Donald tries to run out. Yeah. He's like, no, I'm gone. But she just grabs him and throws him back in.
Oh, like, nice try, Donald. Yeah. But he tries. He tries to throw the bed at her, which doesn't work.
No, it's a big block of gold.
Yeah. Then he throws the pillow and the sheets.
But she grabs him and pins him against the wall and tells him, like, I'm Della's friend.
Yeah.
It
pains her to say it.
Yes, it pains her to say it.
Stop! I'm Della's friend. It was really more of an unlikely roommate situation.
She asks him if he knows a way to disable the ships.
Yeah.
And he says he shakes his head. No.
And she's like, I'll take your next spasm as an Earth yes.
Yeah, so very much, just right away she's like, okay, we're going to stop this invasion.
Because she's like, your family built them. You must know something about, like, the weakness.
Yeah, of course he doesn't. He's like, fuck no. Look at me. No. But she's not taking no for an answer in this case. But I like that, yeah. She's like, we said that she's been trying to convince Lunaris, like trying to change his mind. Yeah. And she's seen that she can't. Mm-hmm. And she's like, fine, I'm going to stop the invasion myself.
Yeah. We love her.
Yeah. So that was nice. Like we said, we've seen like her hesitation and like since everything with Della started in like the Golden Spear with a change of heart. And so so this was nice.
Yeah. And I like that she's still like trying to get his help, but she's like super forceful because that's just how she is. Like, she just pins him against the wall like, hey, I'm here to help you.
I'm here to help you. Let's do this.
Yeah.
And so they leave the cell.
Yes. Back on Earth, we are in a noir detective film now.
Yeah. We see like they put blinds over the doorway to create like the shadow. And it's their bedroom, so Huey comes in like, what's going on? And Dewey's like half in shadow.
Yeah, he's wearing like the
fedora.
Fedora, it is a fedora. And he's like, well. And he kind of has the noir accent going on. Yeah. He's like, look what the cat dragged in.
Like, you asked me to come here.
And then Webby like jumps out behind the desk, and she's wearing like the detective hat. She's like, we know what you asked, we asked you.
Yeah, so they're both doing bad cop. So they're asking him about the postcard.
Yes.
And Huey explains, well, I sent it to Uncle Donald. It's hard to get mail on a boat, and it was returned.
Yeah.
To which Dewey replies that the only reason that Donald goes on trips is to send cheesy postcards, and yet they haven't received any. Mm-hmm. And the mail they do send has been returned.
Yeah. And I like that detail that, like, Donald likes cheesy postcards.
Yeah, that's the only reason he goes on trips, is to send cheesy postcards.
But then I was like, who is he sending them to?
I don't know.
I guess...
himself.
True. He's like, oh, this is going to be exciting when we get back home.
Yeah. Because Dewey has, I forgot to mention, he's the detective.
He's a detective.
He's a detective, of course. I forgot to mention, that's very important.
Chin up, kid. We'll find out what happened to the postcard and your uncle.
He's your uncle, too. He's on a cruise. It's hard to get mail to a boat. Mystery solved.
We'll be the judge of that.
We're on the case.
What case?
And so he's going to solve this mystery, but I love that there's no actual urgency to it.
No.
Like, none of them are actually worried about Donald actually being missing. Yeah. Like, they flat out say he could be missing.
Mm-hmm. But it's kind of like, oh, it's just kind of a thing, you know?
Yeah, they're all like kind of play acting. Mm-hmm. So, like, no one seems very concerned at all. And I'm like, dang. Alright, he's currently stranded on the moon. But whatever.
Yeah, because Webby starts yelling like, it's almost as if he's gone missing. And he's like, why are you yelling at me?
Yeah. But there's no actual, like, thought put into what if he's missing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, Scrooge doesn't.
No, he doesn't. This is the first and only episode where anyone mentions Donald since he left. Yeah. And nobody cares.
Who's never wrong but always right? Who never dream of starting a fight? Who gets stuck with all the bad luck? No one but Donald Duck.
And
it's like the kids fucking took my blinds. Who the fuck are they?
My blinds. Back on the moon, we see Penumbra leading Donald through, through the base. Mm-hmm. Because they have to get to the hangar or something.
Yeah, to Lunaris' private hangar, basically. Yes. And she's talking about, like, we have to get there, make sure no one sees us, and as soon as she says that, Zenith and Gibbous are, like, walking.
Yeah. And I think this is one of our first looks into, like, how the Moonlanders are becoming, like, soldiers. We see that they're wearing armor now. They have the helmets with the visors that block out their eyes. They have guns. Well, Gibbous has a gun. He has trouble removing from the holster.
But it's so weird, like, to see them without, like, their eyes.
Yeah, that was a neat detail. I'm sure it's a reference. Like, there's been other space movies where they have that, but I just couldn't bother. It looks cool.
It does.
How do they see out of it?
They don't. I mean, I don't know.
It looks cool.
Space.
Whatever, it looks cool. And so they're panicking because Donald is out of his self, and because Lunaris has made him out to be this huge threat.
Yeah.
This danger.
Specifically because he's out and he doesn't have any handcuffs.
Yes.
And so Gibbous goes to, like, shoot Donald, but he can't unhook it, and then Zenith is like, "Oh, honey."
You have to unclip the holster first. It was very cute. We see that Penny has to think quick while she has Donald out of his cell. She's like, I'm punching him.
He's like, what better way to train than, like, actually punching at Earth?
Yeah, she just grabs him. She punches him hard first,
yes.
and he falls over. And then she just picks him up and holds him up for Zenith and Gibbous to punch.
And at first they're kind of just, like, soft punches. They're like, oh, he's very soft. And then they go at it.
Jeez, poor Donald.
He's quite soft, almost pleasurable to hit. I no longer fear him.
Oh no! And so Penumbra just carrying him under her arm, and he's just hanging there like, oh my god, I have many bruised ribs.
Penny apologizes, which I thought was cute, but too little, too late.
Yeah, too little, too late. You punched him real hard first. And so she doesn't want to risk them being spotted again. Mm-hmm. So she leads him to a grate and kind of sets him on the ground. He kind of slumps over. And she tells him to take the vents and meet her in the hangar to avoid the soldiers' barracks.
Yeah. Because Zenith gets an announcement, basically, that there's something that breached the parameters. Yeah. And at that point, they don't know what it is.
No, they're like, oh shit, maybe it's another spy.
Yeah.
And so they run off.
Mm-hmm.
This is your moment, Gibbous.
And like I said, Penumbra doesn't want to risk them being spotted again, so she leads him to the grate.
It tells him, go avoid the soldiers' barracks, and I'll meet you at the hangar. And that's it. But we see a shadow.
Yes, yeah, Donald climbs in. There was this little shadow of a little creature following him. And back on Earth. And we have, Dewey's plan is to get into, like, the head of the postcard, meaning that they need to be sent to the same place the postcard was sent.
But I love Webby being like, do you mean the head of the guy in the stamp?
The stamp? And I thought that they were going to go somewhere with this. Like, they try to get sent to where Donald is, and then, like, they find out he's missing. Yeah. Because I did want the family to actually be aware that their uncle was missing. Yeah. Especially since we see this episode focused a lot on him being a parent. Mm-hmm. But then there's very little, like, actual concern about him. Yeah. Like, the fact that he's been gone for some amount of time. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, this plan goes nowhere. No. Because Dewey forgot to tape the bottom of the box they're going to hide themselves in.
And so as soon as the male person picks up the box, she just lifts the entire thing off of them. And I thought it was cute, because that's something I want to do as a child.
Yeah, who doesn't want to put themselves in a box and mail themselves somewhere? Nobody. Everybody wants to do that.
I love that, but they don't get far.
No. And Webby's like, did you forget to tape the bottom of the box? And he's like, maybe!
That's another mystery.
And so they, like, demand of the male person, like, what she did with Donald. Yeah. And she's like, what the nothing. He's like, wait, Donald lives here? Yeah. Because he didn't forward his address from the pier. And she has a fuck ton of his mail. Like, everything in her bag. which she just dumps on Dewey.
Yeah. And so they're like, oh shit, clues.
Yeah, hopefully. It's all bills.
I know. That joke hurt me. They're like, bills.
It's not fun to be an adult. No. I'm like, no.
There's an old joke that I remember from King of the Hill. They're like, he has like a pile of mail, Hank does, and he's like, bills. Why do we keep getting Bill's mail?
That's right. Oh,
but yeah, so they get open one, because they're
breaking federal law.
They are. I put literally, which is illegally opens mail. Whenever I go home and my mom's like, here's your mail, I'm like, did you open these, Mom?
It's illegal!
She's like, shut up. So, because a lot of them they see are from the same address.
Yes, and Dewey opens one of them, and it's like obliquely threatening.
Yes!
It's so threatening.
Like, I'm glad, as we learn, his therapist works for him. But, like, he's so aggressive.
So your life is a non-stop deluge of pain. If you want to stop, pay up.
Jones. Who words it like that?
Maybe this is like the 8th letter, and he's like, dude.
I don't remember the specific wording, but it was like a parody of novelas where the doctor keeps saying things like, "Oh, your son had his like left arm and leg amputated." He's like, "What? I thought you said he was gonna be all right." He's like, "Yeah, he's all right now." And it's like, son of a bitch, why would you say it like that?
It's awful.
Why do you word things like this?
Jesus. Okay, so Dewey reads this note, and the kids immediately think Donald's being blackmailed.
Yes.
Which, fair. It sounds bad.
Yeah.
And so they run off to go to this address
Yeah.
where the bill is from.
Because Dewey's basically
the threatening letter.
Yes. Because they're like, he's not missing, he's like in hiding from
Yes,
mob boss.
Yes, definitely.
So they're gonna get him out of a tight space.
Yes, and we see Donald's in a tight space. He's in the vents.
Love that.
Yes, and we get like an announcement that's like, oh, like there wasn't the Pyramid Beach was just some random beast trapped in the vents. Have a good day. And it's like,
oh
and
shit, I'm in the vents.
Donald's like, wait, yeah, I'm in the vents.
Who gets stuck with all the bad luck? No one but Donald Duck.
And we see like this, like, it's like a shadow. You hear like a noise.
You hear kind of both. It's glowing.
Yes.
So you kind of see the shadow first, and it's like scuttling around, and like Donald's like nervous, and then it's like a kind of smallish.
It's a
bug.
small little scorpion-looking thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh,
it's
okay.
so creepy, but
it's
yeah,
so creepy as hell. And then like roars, and then Donald starts crawling away, and it starts slowly following him.
Yeah.
And it's a sequence of him like glancing back, it's still following him. He glances back, it's still following him, and he's like losing his mind, and it's still following him.
But for a while, it's like a camera trick of like it looks really big.
Yes.
It looks like it takes up the whole vent.
Yeah.
And then it's like it's stepping, and it's like really loud.
Boom, boom, and then we get zoomed out, and it's like
tiny.
It's like scorpion size.
Yeah.
This moment and like other moments, just like the choice to muzzle Donald, which I don't think we commented on a lot earlier.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's an issue for me just because, I mean, it's become a trend to not let him speak in this show. Like making jokes of not being able to understand him. That's old as time itself. But just the fact like. It starts off season 1, obviously, that the joke about not being able to understand him, and not just that, but purposely having Tony Anselmo
muddle his own voice,
muddle the voice,
more
than it actually is supposed to be. And that happens often in season 1, at least twice that I can remember it happening. And then often in the finale of season 1, they give him a whole new voice, so that he can talk all the time, and so he's perfectly understandable. And now here, I mean, I don't think we've seen too much of him season 2. Season 2, at least, he did have that one Caballeros episode, which is very, very good. But besides that, I mean, we see him here, and we don't see him again until the finale.
Yeah.
And so the fact that here, an episode that he's a big focus of it, it's whatever happened to Donald Duck, they don't let him speak.
No.
Like, they rely a lot on slapstick, they rely a lot on other characters speaking, and just I guess body language and like stuff like that. Yeah. But they don't let him speak. And I kind of just can't help comparing that to the Legend of the Caballeros show. So I think we follow Matt Danner, the director of the Legend of the Caballeros, which is on Disney Plus. Yes. And illegally on other websites. If you don't have Disney Plus like us. Yeah. And he's talked about how they worked with Tony Anselmo to create dialogue for Donald that he could say understandably, more legibly. Because Donald is obviously, he's the main character. Yeah. He talks all the time. Yeah. In every single episode. And so the excuse that Donald isn't understandable is not an excuse. No. Because, I mean, like Donald has existed for this is his 85th anniversary.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I mean, making fun of the fact that he's not understandable has been around since he was created.
Yeah.
But there's jokes about that because he sounds god awful, but he still is around and he still talks.
Yeah.
And
he wouldn't have lasted as long as if you actually couldn't understand him.
Like there weren't subtitles in Disney shorts in the 1940s and 50s.
No.
And obviously they've gotten even better with sound and like making him speak a lot clearer now.
Yeah.
And in Legend of the Caballeros, they work with Tony and Selma, like I said, to create dialogue Donald can say understandably, like good dialogue that this, because I mean, obviously there's certain things he can't say, so creating dialogue he can say and letting him be a main character.
Yeah. So
I've heard excuses for this show or reasons that he doesn't speak as much is because you can't understand him. And I mean, that's just, I mean, it's not a reason.
No.
And then them like straight up muzzling him in this episode.
Yeah.
I felt was just kind of
like
insult to injury, like a cop out by this point.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no reason not to let him talk.
Yeah.
And if he really is a main character now, why can't he speak? I mean, if clearly you can make dialogue that works for him.
Yeah. You could have easily had him not be legible or understandable without the muzzle.
Yeah.
And I get that at the end it's like a whole thing with
that
him breaking out.
That he breaks it and everything, but
I
don't know, it's not reason enough to muzzle him for an entire episode.
Yeah.
When like we get so few Donald-centered episodes that when we finally get one, they don't even let him speak.
Yeah.
Like, and they so rarely let him speak in these episodes.
And when they do, they still bring up like the kids not understanding him, and that joke will always not be funny to me.
Same. like we said in that episode, like you put really well.
Yeah, like I don't find it funny if you don't remember because I have relatives who have speech impediments, and it's a thing in the family. Like, oh, so and so we can't understand, and it's like if you put the effort and if you know this person and you care enough to like talk with them and communicate with them, you will understand them.
Yeah.
And sure, sometimes it takes time, but you can do it, and it's fine. And especially if, like, you grew up with that person. Like, I'm not going to turn to my cousin and be like, hey, do you understand your dad? So be like, yeah,
it's my dad.
It's her father. Like, they have a baby, and I've seen them communicate with the baby. Like, he's completely fine. He speaks English, but whatever. Yeah. That's something else.
Yeah, and then for me, like, I mean, both of us, like, having family members who either don't speak English or English is the second language, so when they speak English, it's very accented, and someone who doesn't speak Spanish or just
refuses,
or just someone who doesn't put the effort into trying to understand someone with an accent, and so just the constant making fun of people who aren't understandable, like the way they speak. I don't know, like it rubs me
the wrong way.
Yeah, so that bugs me on that level. Whenever, I mean, in any show, when they make fun of a character who, like, that's saying, oh, we can't understand them. If there were jokes like they make about Donald's voice in any other show about a character who doesn't speak English or had a speech impediment, it would come across a lot differently. Yeah, than it does because it's Donald.
It's Donald. Yeah. It hurts my feelings.
It hurts my feelings.
It hurts my feelings. And I feel like it's just kind of like the combination of a lot of things. Yeah. Because I remember when we first watched this episode, I didn't expect it to just stop. Like, after this, we don't see Donald. No. And I did not expect that.
I didn't either. No, I thought we'd be... I mean, we'll get into it more. Yeah. We're about halfway through, but... Yeah, the fact that we don't see anything from him again, and the whole mystery of whatever happened to Donald Duck is dropped. Yeah. And completely dropped. It's not brought up by anyone else.
No.
Which I think we'll talk more about that in the finale, for sure.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, at length. But I think, our specific complaints are in this episode were the muzzling of him, and how it's just like a symptom of an ongoing trend in this show, with Donald specifically.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, I don't know, I'm hoping it gets better in the next season, just in terms of, because with Daisy coming in, we're hoping, oh god, I can't, the jokes for that. I'm hoping they don't do a lot of I can understand you jokes.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, we'll see.
Okay, let's...
Happier now.
Yeah.
I mean, not too happy, because Donald...
Yeah. So Donald's still trapped in the vents. The little scorpion, the moon scorpion thing, gets in Donald's shirt.
Yes.
And so he like jumps around, there's a scorpion in his shirt. And he throws it out. He grabs his rabbit and throw it out.
But he's like on top of like a vent.
Yeah,
and he falls.
Yeah, he falls through it into the soldiers' barracks.
Yes.
And so there's like all these bunk beds, like a bunch of sleeping soldier moonlanders, and he's like, "Oh shit!" But then one of them grabs him, and you think, "Oh god, he's captured."
Oh, no.
But just when they just wanted something to hug,
Yeah.
and just because he's soft,
Yeah.
just drags him in for a hug, and he's still sleeping. And Donald's like, "Oh my god, okay, another problem."
More predicament.
Yes. And so back on Earth, Webby and Dewey go to the address.
Yes.
On the blackmail letter.
And Webby's like, oh, this 93 is supposed to be a 9. Then she realizes that the 3 is just like roaches.
Yeah.
And they're like, she's like, ooh, seedy.
Yeah, while a roach flies onto Dewey's face.
Oh, no. And then it's Elm Street, which every seedy street ever is always called Elm Street. Yeah.
Oh. I didn't notice. That's fun. And so they see a dude walk up to the door. The guy who lives there, presumably. It's the blackmailer. And it's this big dog guy. He's a green sweater, right? What's a sweater vest? It's a vest. Green sweater. No, it's a sweater.
Okay.
I got confused on what a sweater vest was, but then I remembered what that was. It's a vest. It's a sweater.
Okay. Is this a sweater or a vest?
It's a sweater! Shut the fuck up. Faby's wearing a sweater.
I am. He's wearing like an overcoat and like a
brown fedora.
Yes.
He's coming back inside. And so they need a plan to distract him so that Dewey can get inside and look for, whatever blackmail material he has on Donald. Maybe
it's just I haven't watched DuckTales, but I enjoyed this Dewey plotline.
You enjoyed it?
I did.
You haven't been exhausted by Dewey-ness for a while?
Yeah, I guess so. It's weird to say. Did we ever tell the story of when we bought our plushes?
I don't know if we did.
So
I think we talked about how we got tired of Dewey season 1. Like we really got tired of him.
So it was like summer, like a year ago, 2 years ago?
Yeah, we went to the Mabim Bam show in San Francisco.
And we were at a Disney store, and I like grabbed all of the nephews and Webby. I was carrying them, but when it came time to pay, I was like, we're not going to buy all of them.
No, it's too many.
So I got Louie, and I got Huey, right? And we were kind of debating about Webby. And we were just like, we don't want Dewey.
Dewey's not in the running.
Dewey's not in the running.
We kind of put him back. We're like,
we don't want this.
We don't want this one for sure.
So yeah.
Nothing against Ben Schwartz.
No.
Love him.
It's just so many of these plot lines are
too much Dewey.
Yeah.
Too much Dewey.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So they start talking about what they're gonna do. So Dewey's gonna go inside.
Yes.
So he needs Webby.
He flips the hat inside out, which I'm like, nobody knows who you are. You're fine.
And Webby's gonna distract the guy.
So that was fun. Yes.
Yes.
And her plan is to be Alexandra Pretzelkov, who is raising funds to save the summer camp from a greedy land developer.
I think it's signatures.
Right.
Yes. But also, she's looking for the missing half of this locket.
The significance of which is not explained.
No. Someone said that it's a reference to Annie, but I've never seen the musical Annie.
Is there something about a locket?
I don't know.
I've only seen the movies. I don't remember. It was a long time ago.
Yeah. So who cares?
Is there a fucking locket?
I don't know. Someone said that.
Maybe.
Internet. If you lied to me, how dare you?
Whatever. But Dewey's like, that's way too complicated.
Yeah.
And his plan's actually sound.
Yeah.
He stole Dewey's Junior Woodchuck outfit, which says, "Don't touch Dewey." He's like, "Can you just pretend to sell cookies this time?"
She's like, ugh. I guess.
Yeah, she's like, if they close out that summer camp, it's on you. Girl! It's made up!
I already stole Huey's Junior Woodchuck outfit. Maybe this time you could just pretend to sell cookies?
Fine, but if that summer camp shuts down, it's on you.
Dude, what slips into the window, right?
Yeah.
Breaking and entering. Great job, Dewey.
They don't have to worry about it. They can get bailed out.
Yeah, they can. They're good. Unless Scrooge lets them rot in a cell overnight, teach them a lesson.
So Dewey goes in. He starts singing his theme song.
He's like, Dewey, something. And he's like, wait, I'm undercover. Yeah. Not Dewey. And we see that Jones. Yes. He's about to go inside this room because the room Dewey comes into is like an office kind of. Yeah. It's like fucked up. Mm-hmm. Like everything's missing pieces. It looks like.
I mean, the window was easy enough to get into.
Yeah. I think one of the windows is broken. The glass. Yeah. There's like a punching bag that's falling apart. There's a couch with the springs popping up. Mm-hmm. It just looks bad.
Yeah. And he goes in. He gets in, and then Jones is gonna open a door. Yeah. But the other door, like the outside door, rings, and it's Webby.
Yeah. And she's like, "Hi, I'm a junior woodchuck raising money for cookies or something." Yeah.
No, she starts to like realize that she can get away with it. Yes. She's like, "I'm trying to like sell cookies to stop like the greedy guy,
the greedy land developer."
And it's the only thing that's stopping me from finding the missing half of this locket.
And you see Dewey inside, like, "Oh, geez, we had a plan." But he's next to a filing cabinet. Yeah. And he sees this big file on Donald Duck.
4 inches thick.
Yeah, it's huge. And so he like yanks that out. He thinks it's the blackmail material, which, Jesus, if that was the case. And,
oh my god.
And he starts looking through it. Yeah. And back on the moon, we see Donald is trying to... We get this fun little cartoony slapstick... He's trying to, he's trying to keep the guards from waking up, and they all keep waking up because the scorpion thing drops down from the ceiling too. He has to keep it from waking up all the guards, so he's throwing it all around and like rocking the guards back to sleep, and like
he even like gently kisses one. It's just like Donald's like dad instincts are just like there.
He's like, I know these people will kill me if they wake up, but
they deserve a good sleep.
They're sleeping. And so it's just him, like, whacking this thing off one moonlander, going to the next, and whacking the scorpion thing off again.
Rocking them, tucking the sheets back in. Yeah. It's very nice.
It's cute. Until the scorpion thing gets on him, and he flips. And he just stops trying to be quiet. He's just screaming his head off. Like, he wakes up every single guard.
Yeah. And then he's, like, in the middle, and they're all, like... Some of them are with their weapons, some of them are still in bed. Yeah. And he's just, like, in the spotlight.
Yeah. And because all the lights turn on. Yeah. And the scorpion thing climbs under his shirt again. Mm-hmm. And he does this dance thing that I swear is a reference to Trick or Treat, the 1952 Donald Duck short. I rewatched it, just to be sure. And it's vaguely similar.
Okay.
Like, in that short, his feet get...
possessed
by a witch, and it makes him like dance around kind of like this.
Okay. I feel that's what I was telling Adam. Like, I feel like it's too different to like, well, it's just different enough to be like, oh, that's a reference.
Yeah, it's cartoony enough that it doesn't fit the typical DuckTales kind of rules. Yeah. So I feel like it is a reference to that, or if not that, then another short. I thought that came to mind when I first saw this though, and I rewatched it, and I'm like, yeah, it's pretty similar.
So he gets the scorpion out of him.
Oh yeah. And like, he beats up. Yeah. Doing his fun little dance, trying to get the scorpion out. He beats up every single moonlander.
He might have killed a man. Who knows?
He might have. And we see Penumbra comes in, hearing all the noise. Yeah. She's like, "What are you? Oh shit!
Yeah, good job."
Yeah. She's like, "Oh shit! Maybe you guys aren't as fucking useless as I thought." Wow. And they get to the hangar. Mm-hmm. And it's this huge room. There's like this gold cannon. Like, I thought it was a telescope at first thing, like in the middle of the room. And she's telling Donald to look for something that was like plans for the ships or anything, but don't touch anything.
But also don't touch anything.
Yeah. And he's on the brink of touching a button. And he's like, fucking, what am I supposed to do then?
Yeah. So he like reclines on a wall.
Yeah. But not. It's a hologram.
Yes.
And so he falls through to find Lunaris' secret war room.
Yes.
To which Penumbra's like, what the fuck? Excuse me?
Like, hey, he's gonna know that we entered his secret war room. He's like, wait, shit, what?
Secret war room. And we see there's like consoles and stuff, and in the middle of the room is like floating a hologram of Earth.
Yeah.
And Penumbra goes and starts messing with buttons. Mm-hmm. And we see that it's like strategic points pop up on Earth, and we get like dossiers on all these people. We see Glomgold, we see Scrooge, we see all of Scrooge's villains, there's Gizmo Duck, like Lunaris knows what's happening on Earth, specifically Duckburg.
Yeah.
We see these pictures of Duckburg, but there's also targeted things all over the planet. Mm-hmm. Like,
and she's like, basically like, he knows a lot more than he let off.
Yes. She thought he didn't know anything about the Earth, just like all of them. He thought all he knew was about Della's stories.
Yeah.
But clearly not. We see these pictures of, we see Della and Scrooge, we see the kids, like, projected big on the walls. And then smaller on the globe, like I said, Scrooge's villains, the money bin.
Yeah.
And clearly he's done a lot of research. And there's, like, say, targeting points.
Yes. Like just basically diagrams of where he would go. Yeah. And that's when Penumbra starts saying, like, okay, so it looks like he's been planning this even before Della got here.
Before Della got here. So, like, what does that mean then?
Yeah.
Like, if Della wasn't the reason. Like, this big family tree that we see with Scrooge, Donald, Della, and the kids with Donald crossed out.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, no. And that freaks Donald out.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, he has pictures of the kids and his whole family. And he goes and he pushes a button by accident.
Yeah.
And we see
that, like, telescope-looking thing. It, like, shifts up. And you see that it goes to point at Earth.
Yeah.
And then, like, a bullet kind of thing goes into the rocket launcher.
Yeah.
And she's like, what the
what
hell
is that?
Yeah.
So she does more research, and we see recordings.
Yes.
Lunaris was trying to get to Earth himself. And we see he's testing it on him. Like, he's the test pilot.
Yeah, and it
crashes
working.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Like, it immediately crashes. And the next time we see him, he's bandaged and beat up. Tries again.
And it keeps not working.
Yes.
And then it gets farther, but this time he's working, like, he's using, like, a test dummy.
Yeah, he's like, okay.
Yeah.
I got this now. I'm not gonna die trying this out.
But it, like, basically, like, the pressure just... It crushes the
test dummy.
Yeah.
And so that's Penumbra's realizing, like, he's been trying to get to Earth on his own for a lot longer than we thought.
Yeah. And, like, now that he has, like, the rockets...
Yeah, now that he has Della Spears' Celine plans...
That's all he needs.
Yeah. He just needs to finish the construction, and they can start the invasion.
Yeah. Not good.
No, it's bad. Yeah, obviously it's bad. And we see Donald freaking out because... Like, Lunaris knows way more than they thought he did.
Yes.
Like, this invasion has been planned for a long time. And so it's not good.
It's not good.
No.
So, we have a nice transition to Donald's freaked out face.
Yeah.
It goes into him in his little, like, cute original outfit.
Yeah, the blue sailor suit.
Yeah, in a file that Dewey's finally reading. And Webby comes in, and she's like, yeah, my plan worked. He's looking for the locket.
Yeah, he's looking for the other half of the missing locket. So... Dewey tells her, like in this file are dates of every horrible thing that has ever happened to Donald in his life, which is why it's so big.
And, like, who was involved?
Yeah, like is Jones behind? Like, all these bad things?
Yeah.
Who gets stuck with all the bad luck? No one but Donald Duck.
And then Jones comes up behind them, and he's like, Uncle Donald. He's like, you're in on this, too.
Yeah, and he, like, picks him up.
And he locks him in a closet.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude.
And he's like, I know who to call to resolve all of this.
Yeah. So everyone's like, oh shit.
Yeah. I mean, again, why would you do it like this?
I know, Jones, just explain. Just have him sit on the couch.
Yeah.
And be like,
hey.
You broke into my house.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call the police.
I'm gonna call your uncle. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. But no, you just shove the children in the closet.
Yeah, shove the kids in the closet. Yeah. And so we see back on the moon. They get a signal from Duckburg. It's a news. What's it fucking called?
Transmission.
Yeah, it's a transmission, but it's the news.
Oh yeah, it's just like the current news.
Yeah. So which is kind of it's fucked because so Lunaris has been like spying on the Earth for a long time, like before Della. So who knows? I mean, how long has he been spying? Like, why is he... Because we see he's focused on Duckburg, primarily. Yeah. There's pictures of Duckburg, specifically. Even though the plot points are all over the Earth. Did he start focusing on Duckburg after Della? Or was it always a strategic point? Because of watching the news, he learned about Scrooge.
Maybe it was probably because of Scrooge. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if he's been planning this for years.
Yeah. He was like, I need to... Well, I think he says, like, he kind of focused on the one guy that would be able to stop him. Yeah. And that would be Scrooge.
Yeah.
So then we see that, like, Penumbra's like, oh, we're getting a transmission, like, from them. Yeah. That means...
Do you think, like in DuckTales, there's, like, world peace and there's no armies anymore?
I think so.
I'd be more worried about getting shot out of the sky by, like, a missile or some shit.
I think that's the implication that I've just kind of been working with.
There's just world peace.
Yeah.
Everyone's chill.
Yeah. Yeah. Donald didn't have to go to the Navy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the implication. Like,
I guess if Scrooge, like this old guy who refuses to die, is like the biggest threat to an alien invasion.
Yeah, it's not like...
Dang. Like the president calls up Scrooge, like, there's like a chupacabra on my lawn. Can you do something about this?
Yeah, Scrooge just has power. I think so.
Whatever. Anyway.
No, yeah.
It's fun world building, maybe. There's world peace.
Love that.
Anyway.
So, Penumbra goes and she looks at her
she's
like...
oh shit, like we're getting a signal from her, so maybe we can send a signal out.
Mm-hmm. And it's like the... What are they called? Walkie-talkie?
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever.
He's able to dial a cell phone.
Yeah. So he's like... She's like, go to the highest point, just get on like the rocket thing.
Yeah.
And go as high as you can and call.
Yeah, call them, like let them know the invasion is happening.
Mm-hmm. But as soon as she doesn't even finish that when she gets like electrocuted.
Yeah, and she collapses like unconscious.
Yeah.
Who gets stuck with all the bad luck? No one but Donald Duck.
And when Donald turns her over, we see that it's the medallion, the thingy that Lunaris gave her to indicate her rank as captain. And so, which means he suspected her, or at least had a contingency in case she did turn on him. Which, yikes!
As soon as that happens, we see like that Lunaris has been like looming over Donald.
Yeah.
Thanks to this device, which is like the little thing he used to electrocute her. Yeah. He's like, her rebellion is...
It ends here.
Yeah,
it ends before it's begun or something. And I actually really like Lunaris.
Yeah.
Basically, up until this episode, I liked him. Because...
He's bad.
He's bad. Like, and we see how bad, like, he really is in this scene here. And we'll get into how they... how his character changes, I guess, later in the finale. But this episode, he felt like a legitimate threat.
Oh, yeah.
Because up until now, like, obviously we didn't know he was bad until the Golden Spear, and then you're like, oh, shit. Like, he's bad.
What are you doing? What's up?
Like, he released this whole plan that he's tricking the Moonlanders, and like, this, like, hatred he's kept hidden. Mm-hmm. And here we see that he's just very threatening. Like, Thanos wishes.
Honestly, yeah.
He's evil Martian Manhunter. He looks like the Martian Manhunter! Like, 100%. He's bald.
Yeah. Oh my god, he is bald. No, I was just thinking about that. He's bald. Because we were watching the old SpongeBob movie.
Oh my god, that was my first thought, and I hate it.
Your Highness, I'm sure it's not that noticeable.
All right.
That, or like a great war, or like a win comes with a great sacrifice.
Yeah, he's like, so if a few Moonlanders die,
that's fine.
Yeah, sucks, but, for the glory of the moon. Yeah. And, like, Donald tries to run, he grabs the walkie-talkie, and Lunaris just very casually trips him, and he doesn't stop talking.
Yeah.
And so just this, it was just good. It was just very threatening. Like, he's not in a hurry to deal with Donald.
No. And the only reason he snaps is because Donald starts to say that
he's
the
like
moon is not a planet.
Yeah, he's like he says something planet moon, and Donald even muddled. He's like, the moon's not a planet. and we have, I don't think we've seen Lunaris snap like this about that. No, because he was quiet whenever Della said something. Mm-hmm. But this, he snaps. He grabs Donald and throws him, and he says something like the Earth won't be a planet when he's done with it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I forgot to put his evil plan. It actually makes sense. It's not going to be a planet afterwards.
Yeah. He's
going to make it a moon. Oh, yeah. Remember, he's going to make it orbit the moon.
Yes, I feel like I've forgotten so many things.
I know, it's been a while.
No, yeah, because his whole thing, like, every time Della would make the joke, he'd be like, ha, ha.
Oh, I think he wouldn't say, he wouldn't say anything about
he was going to be like, oh, Della.
Yeah. It was Penny who would get annoyed by it. But we see here it, like, infuriates him. He throws him clear onto the cannon gun. What do we call it?
Call it a rocket launcher.
Rocket launcher. That's what it says.
Yeah.
He throws him clear onto that thing.
A few brave soldiers get hurt, but it's worth it for the glory of the planet Moon. It is a planet! More of a planet than your Earth will be once I'm done with it!
Donald is able to get a lot of punches.
Oh, yeah.
Because Lunaris is still talking, kind of saying, like, oh, I see that you're admiring my work.
My handiwork, yeah.
Yes. Because I was saying Launchpad for some reason. Donald is looking at the pictures of the boys, specifically.
Yeah. And I said Launchpad too! You infected me.
And Linares is basically like, oh, you know, like, other people would target Scrooge first. He's like, yeah, that's my plan eventually.
Yeah, but like the real way to get you is to break your spirits, and that's by going after the kids first.
You see, most foes would target Scrooge McDuck. They don't realize the key to victory is to take the children out first to break your spirits. Say goodbye to your precious Hubert, Duford, and Llewellyn.
Flat out stating that he's planning on killing the kids. Is wild and makes me bummed out for how the finale goes.
But
we'll hold our complaints for the finale. Yeah. We did like the finale for the most part. It was fun.
Yes, it was fun.
Yes, but we'll get into it.
Yeah.
Lunar is just straight up. He's going to kill the kids.
How fucking terrifying.
Yeah. Like, Donald is stranded on the moon. He has no idea what the fuck is happening.
No.
These people know Della, apparently. They're going to invade the Earth with models of her ship, and they know everything about his family. They know everything about Duckburg, and they're going to kill his kids.
Yeah.
Like, this...
As far as he knows, like, the ship that the Golden Spear was empty, and Della's already gone.
Yeah.
You know, like, as far as he knows, she never made it back to Earth.
Who gets stuck with all the bad luck? No one but Donald Duck.
He's legit scary, and I like that.
He's very threatening, and I did like that. Like, just he's very casual with how threatening he is. Like, it doesn't feel campy, really.
No, yeah,
which I did like.
Yeah,
it feels a lot more natural.
It's an extension of just kind of like how he's threatening Penumbra throughout the whole thing.
Yeah,
it's that extension of his like gaslighty kind of way of talking.
He's very confident in himself.
Yeah.
And so he doesn't feel like a need to rush. He's stating facts.
Yeah. And we end that scene with, like, Donald just seething.
Yeah.
And I really like how these next scenes are going to play out. Because we're going to go back and forth.
Between the kids and on Earth and,
and Donald on the moon.
Yeah. So we see the kids are trapped in the closet, and I'm like, Webby, come on, you can break out this fucking door. you have like, hair clips, so you can pick the lock or something.
She's giving Dewey a chance to try.
So he's like hanging off the doorknob while Webby's like wondering what's going on.
She's like, is he working for the Beagle Boys?
Foul, yeah. Be the greedy land developer. You made that up.
I love she believes her own story.
And we see that the door starts to open and they're ready to like fight.
Yeah.
But it's Scrooge who's come.
So they're like, what? Uncle Scrooge?
Yeah, so first like, are you in on this? Give Alexa back her locket, old man. And originally I thought, what I thought was going on was that this person, that Jones was a private investigator. And that Scrooge had hired him to look to find where Donald was.
Oh, and he like didn't tell the kids
because he didn't want to worry them that Donald was missing. So I thought that's where this episode was going.
That would have been good.
Yeah, there's something like you're in on this too, like, and it shows him in the closet.
Yeah,
so that's why I thought like he was missing. That Scrooge had hired Jones as a private investigator because he has the hat. He's kind of mean.
Yeah.
So that's what I thought was going on.
Okay.
And so
I don't think I had any. I just kind of went with it.
So that's what was going on. That's why Scrooge was there.
Yeah,
but no,
he's just here to collect his kids who got told
for trespassing.
And he gets mad. He's like, old man.
Yeah. But the kids are like, no, like he's involved. Yeah. Like he's blackmailing Donald.
And he's like, no.
Yeah, no, he's not like blackmailing him. That and he wipes off like the closet they're in has like a really dusty window. He wipes that off, and it says "Good Neighbor Therapy."
Yeah.
Uncle Scrooge, you're in on it too.
Give Alexa back her locket, old man.
Old man? Now you owe Mr. Jones and me an apology.
Not until Jones explains why he's been blackmailing Uncle Donald and ruining his life.
Jones isn't Donald's enemy. He's Donald's anger management counselor.
Jones walks up with like the files, I think.
Yes.
Or he puts them down.
Yeah. I think he has he puts them on his desk and it's this huge fucking file.
Yeah.
His number one therapist on his coffee mug with the rainbow. And
I mean, the building is still very like gloomy and dusty.
I think It is dusty.
Yeah.
But I think, like, it's all fucked because he's an anger management counselor.
Yeah.
Like, because people who've come to vent their anger, not just Donald, and...
Like, he gives them a space to
vent that. And so that's why it looks fucked.
Yeah.
It's all falling apart, because people come for anger management. Mm-hmm. And he explains that the files all correspond to a day where something bad happened in Donald's life. Mm-hmm. And that he came here to vent his frustrations.
Yeah, and then we go back and we see, like, the punching bag and the sofa that are kind of
and so a spring pops out. Yeah. The punching bag just gives the ghost and it just falls apart.
And I like that Jones is kind of, like, gruff. Like, his attitude doesn't change. Like, it's like it's not that the kids were perceiving him this way. It's like he is kind of like that.
Yeah. And like he's an anger management counselor, but he's like not like this soft soothing thing. He just kind of he's gruff.
Yeah, and we see him like he's two Alka-Seltzers in his cup.
Yeah, and that was a really nice detail. I really liked that because it's all the kids coming up to him like what's happening? What do you mean? And he's putting this like the Alka-Seltzer in his water, and that was just a neat. It was a neat detail.
And
the dad asked about the threatening letter.
Yeah, he's like, it's not a letter, it's a bill.
It's attached to a bill. Anger management's not free!
So, but they're like, if you're his anger management counsel, like, what have you done? Like, he's still the angriest guy we know.
Yeah, I love Webby's like, yeah, what have you done to help?
Yeah.
Like, damn.
Dang, alright. And so he stands up and looks dramatically out the window.
Mm-hmm. And I really like this. Yes. Because when he looks out the window, we go back to the moon, and it's like kind of like if he were looking at Donald. Because it's kind of going to give like a voiceover.
Yeah, to this, because we see Donald getting more and more angry. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so Jones starts to say, like, he found the source of Donald's anger. Yeah. And his source of anger is that he kind of feels like the whole world is against him.
Yeah, and that nobody understands him.
Literally.
Yeah.
And at this point, we kind of get like a zoom into like the muzzle or whatever it's called. He would lash out and until the kids came along.
Yeah, because he lashed out in ways that were wildly unfocused. Yeah. He would just get mad and lash out.
Yeah. Yeah. So he wanted to come in. He's like, and he says he wanted to be the best parent he could.
Yeah. Once he had the kids.
Yeah. So he's like, we came in and we channeled all of that anger into being protected.
That the thought of the kids being hurt makes him like just furious.
Yes.
And we see, and we've seen that throughout the show. Whenever the kids are in danger, he will lose his shit and like Hulk out. Basically.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we saw that like the first time with the Beagle Boys. Yeah. That scene.
Daydream of Doom.
Yes. Daydream of Doom.
I found the source of his anger. Donald's anger issues stem from a fear that the world is out to get him, and that no one understands him, quite literally. His tendency to lash out was wildly unfocused until you kids came along. He came to me wanting to be the best parent he could, so we channeled that anger into protective instincts. Every outburst is Donald wanting to protect his family. He loves you so much, the thought of anything bad happening to you infuriates him!
So he manages to, like, break the muzzle.
Yes, yeah, he gets so mad, he breaks it off, and he's, like, doing the yell and everything. Yeah. And he goes to beat up Lunaris, but even still, Lunaris is too strong.
I know. He does get a couple of, like, punches in, but as soon as Lunaris kind of focuses, he manages to stop him.
Yeah. And so Donald's like, all right, I have to focus too. So he grabs the walkie-talkie again and runs up the rocket launcher. Because he needs to get a signal out.
And Lunaris just like strolls up.
He's very unhurriedly following him.
Yeah.
And we see Donald quickly, he yells like, the invasion's
happening in a month.
In a month. I'll be home soon. Which is very sad that he said this while this evil alien overlord is like encroaching on him. And so Lunaris, he takes the walkie-talkie, breaks it, and so now, I mean...
Donald's like,
like, Lunaris is gonna kill him. Like, for sure. And so Donald's like, okay, what are my options? And so he runs for the rocket launcher to get inside of it, because there's the hatch at the end of it.
It's still open.
Yeah.
And he, like, trips, and he, like, slides onto it, and he sits on the seat.
And there's the button has, like, a skull and crossbones, and he's like... He hesitates for a second. Yeah. And Lunaris comes up and he's like, oh shit, I gotta go. And he pushes the button and he gets launched out.
Yes.
And for all intents and purposes, to his death.
Yeah. Because even Lunaris he's like one of the ones that says like, oh, like no living thing's gonna survive.
Yeah, because I think he gets contacted by the base. Yes. Like, should we shoot him down?
Yeah.
No living thing could survive. Yeah. He's like, we're good.
Should we give chase?
No. No living thing could survive that.
There goes the bravest man on two worlds.
Donald has an experience.
Yeah, it's a reference to Stanley Kubrick's 2001: A Space Odyssey.
I never seen that.
Neither have I. But apparently down to the music.
Oh.
And what he sees.
Okay.
It's all referenced.
Okay.
And so he's like, he has however many G's pressing down on him, trying to kill him.
He's like hallucinating.
He's hallucinating. He's like losing his shit. This goes just passing out.
But he's like the kids, and then he like manages to kind of
through sheer force of will, he doesn't die.
It's supposed to be like that.
Yeah. And Penumbra regains consciousness in time to watch him go.
Yeah.
And she's like, there goes the bravest man on two worlds.
Damn. That's a good moment.
That's good. And then we don't see Penumbra again. And who knows what she gets up to.
Yeah, I was kind of upset about that. I remember
I would like to know. But we don't.
We don't. I remember being like watching the finale and just kind of being like, and Penumbra.
Yep.
And Penumbra? No?
Yeah.
Okay.
No Penumbra yet?
No?
Okay. That's cool. Penumbra? Not yet?
No?
Okay. It's been 28 minutes.
Oh, Penumbra. Oh, no. Oh, I don't want this scene.
Oh, no. Oh, Penumbra's fine? Okay. All right.
And then again, repeat because that was upsetting. And I try not to think about it. But yeah.
But anyway.
Scrooge leaves yelling as if he's not a billionaire.
Yeah, just pay your nephew's anger management counseling bills, dude. Jesus. Okay. He's yelling about how it's like just like
if you want to get paid, look for him yourself.
Look for Donald. Okay, Scrooge. So the kid's leaving, and they're like the mystery they learned was the reason why Donald's angry at the world because he loves us.
Yeah.
So that was nice. I did like a focus on Donald's anger. Since his anger has obviously never been explored in anything. He's angry.
Yeah.
And so here, explaining that he channels it through protective instinct, and the fact that they show that a prominent Disney character goes and went to therapy.
Yeah.
For the sake of becoming a better parent.
Yeah.
And
that's good.
And it's viewed in a very positive light. Yeah, therapy can be. Not a lot of people
a taboo.
So, yeah, it'd be kind of taboo sometimes, but so I like the fact that they were very open about it, that why he went, and that it has helped him.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah. And that the kids kind of appreciate that.
They appreciate it.
Moment.
Yeah, they do definitely. And so they're walking back home or whatever, and Webby's like, okay, but we never found out what happened to the
why was the postcard returned in the first place?
And they're like,
okay,
who cares? And they kind of walk off.
Yeah.
Mysteries, I guess. And we see Scrooge gets a phone call. Or he gets a voicemail.
And it's kind of like it just cuts in and out. And
it's very staticky.
Here is Scrooge, kids, something in a month.
Yeah.
Coming home soon.
Yeah.
And Scrooge is like, oh, okay.
Oh, it sounds like having a great time. Yeah. It looks like your uncle will be back in a month.
Yeah.
As we see Donald streaking across the sky in a rocket bound for who knows where.
Who gets stuck with all the bad luck? No one but Donald Duck.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know where.
We know.
And I forgot to mention Neighbor Jones.
Oh, yes.
So Jones he's like a reference. He's a cameo. It's Neighbor Jones from the comics. He was here. He's voiced by James Adomian. And Neighbor Jones, the character, was created in 1943 by Carl Barks. He first showed up in Walt Disney's Comics and Stories number 34. And we see that he's most prominently featured in the UK and Netherlands comics. He's a character. People care about this guy. I think I heard that people, fans from those countries really wanted him to show up in the show. God. And I'm like, dang, all right. Neighbor Jones fandom.
Yeah, I love that.
I guess.
That's fascinated. I'm fascinated.
And that's why the therapy is called good neighbor therapy. Because in the comics, he and Donald are neighbors, and they hate each other's guts. Cleaning out the case here.
Yeah,
But in the comics, they hate each other.
Oh, okay. How fun.
It's fun. But, so I think we weren't expecting Donald to come back so soon.
No.
I thought they would draw out his being on the moon. But then they sent him back immediately. I'm like, oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. Wonder what he's up to.
Yeah, like, I expected more, like, Donald and Penumbra teaming up.
Yeah.
Which, that's why I thought, we'll probably talk about this later in the finale, but that would have helped kind of bring Penumbra in a lot more.
Yeah, because, like Donald, we don't see her again until the finale.
Yeah. And I think that this is also, it's more her, Della, Donald, Lunaris' fight than it is Scrooge's fight.
We'll get into that in the finale.
Yes, I know.
But I think for me, I wanted more with Penumbra just because she and Donald kind of barely interact because through consequence of the muzzle.
Yes.
Because Donald doesn't get to ask her, where's Della? Is she alright? Is she still here?
Yeah.
Like, if he could have spoken, he would have learned that she left.
Yeah.
That she is on Earth. Mm-hmm. And just more about how Della's been, because he hasn't seen her, obviously, in 10 years, and Penumbra has been around her for months at least. Mm-hmm. So it would have been nice to see him asking about her and have them form a bit more of a bond.
I thought there was going to be a lot more, like, parallels with, like, her and Donald and paralleling, like, her and Della.
That's right, because Della has that, like, Della, we learned from Lunaris, Della told Lunaris that Penumbra reminds her of Donald, of her brother.
Yeah, so I thought we were going to get a little bit more development, which would help her kind of, I guess, develop her more in terms of...
Like her empathy for Earth and her caring about Della. Yeah. By being trusted with her brother and trying to keep him safe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we didn't get that, though.
And again, this is, like, a complaint that I have with a lot of episodes. You could have had all the kids involved. Like, I like that, like... I mean, Webby doesn't have... Well, she does have a horse in this race. But, like, it would have been another brother.
Yeah.
To be like, hey, this is why...
I feel like Huey would make sense. It would make sense for Huey since they involved him from the beginning.
Exactly.
And, like, why isn't he more concerned? Because usually he tries to very practically explain it.
Yeah.
But I would wonder why... Like, Dewey wonders why. But none of them really... get into none of them really wonder hard enough like why Donald hasn't sent postcards knowing that he always loves sending them.
Yeah like I would have been worried. I'm worried all the time.
If like I don't know, I mean because they're distracted with their mom, but if you haven't heard from your parental figure for weeks
and specifically like if he hasn't sent the thing that he likes to do, then I would have been like, oh, are there no postcards?
Yeah, can we give him a call?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Donald clearly calls them, so why don't they try to call him back? I don't know.
Who knows? Plot.
Yeah.
It's a cartoon. Whatever.
It's a cartoon. Whatever. I did enjoy the episode. It was a very fun episode, and I did like seeing Donald.
I would have loved to have heard it.
It would have been nice if we spoke. I think he had maybe one line.
Yeah.
And it was... in the very beginning, before they muzzle him.
Mm-hmm. And then the kind of bitchy comment about the moon.
Yes.
And that's it.
That's right. But it was a very good episode. I'm excited to get more into the DuckTales bomb they did. Because it's so hard to really, like, get the episode to really, like, give them the credit they do when you first watch them. Because they drop them an episode a day. And so you can't appreciate what happened in one before you're getting an entirely new, insane episode the next day. I think next is the birthday one, right? Happy birthday, Doofus Drake.
Yes.
Which is...
I love that.
Doofus is a lot. And Goldie's in. I love Goldie.
I love Goldie too.
And obviously Boyd.
I love Boyd.
And it's a Louie episode, and I like Louie.
Love Louie. That's a really fun episode. I'm excited.
Excited for that one.
No, yeah. So we didn't get any questions for this episode, maybe because we did this last minute.
Yeah.
But we wanted to talk about something that we've been meaning to bring up since, like, May of last year.
Jesus. That sounds so bad.
I mean, you know. We didn't prepare anything.
We didn't.
I don't know if you guys remember, like, a year ago we were doing our part 2 of Darkly Dawns the Duck.
Darkly Dawns the Duck part 2. the second episode pilot of Darkwing Duck. Well, not pilot, second episode.
Yeah. We never released that because at the time, allegations against Jim Cummings were brought up.
Yeah.
And
those allegations have since been dismissed in court.
Yes. But we still don't really feel comfortable, like, with what we said at that time. And just because he's the type of person, or he is a person that a lot of his, like, morals, I guess, I would say.
Yeah. Connected to his political affiliations.
Don't align with what we believe and feel comfortable with, like, sharing.
Yeah. So while we're still fans of, like, Darkwing Duck and, I don't know, Disney properties that he's been in.
Yes.
He's in basically everything.
Yes.
We're not really fans of
him.
Of him himself.
Mm-hmm. So, like...
And I wanted to bring that up just because we will be talking about shows that he's voiced.
Yeah.
Main characters in, like Darkwing Duck.
Mm-hmm.
And while we're fans of the character, very much so, we want to definitely differentiate the character from the voice actor.
Yeah. Especially if he's going to continue voicing, like, Jim Starlin.
Yes.
You know, and he voices a lot of, you know, characters that are important to me in my childhood.
Yes.
But I've come, as sad as it may have seemed at the moment, it's a different person.
Yeah.
You know, and we bring this up specifically because, not of an incident, but something that happened.
Kind of a funny story that we haven't been able to tell without explaining that first.
Yeah.
And we meant to tell the story earlier, but we kept kind of forgetting.
Yeah, and then the other episodes are kind of, we didn't want to bring it up, like, for the Darkwing episode.
Yeah, because it's kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
But we did feel a responsibility to talk about it, talk about that fact.
Yeah.
So, our story.
Which is kind of funny.
It is a fun story.
It's a fun story. Yeah. So, back in, like, late May, we went to Sac Anime. Yeah. We met some of you guys, like Lynette. Yeah. Thank you. You're involved kind of in this story.
You were present.
Yeah, you were present. So, we went to the Darkwing Duck panel. That was fun. It was really fun.
It was very fun. We saw, there was Jim Cummings, Katie Lee, and...
Terrence McGovern.
I always forgot his name.
I've said things before about kind of making fun of him, and then hearing him speak made me feel really bad. And then meeting him,
we met him, and you were just his Launchpad, and
he was a sweetheart about it. He was like, "Oh, you're me," and I was like, and he kept thanking me.
Yeah,
and I kept thanking him. And there's a cute picture. We'll probably have it on our Twitter.
I think it's still there.
Yeah, with him, and he like gave me a kiss, and it was like on the cheek. It was really cute. It was really sweet. That's fine.
Yeah.
But throughout the whole con...
Oh, but yeah, because you were Launchpad, and I was very prominently dressed as Darkwing Duck.
Yes.
We had people constantly asking us if we were going to go see Jim Cummings at the autograph panel. Mm-hmm. And we'd be like, oh, maybe. Because we didn't want to just say straight up no, because it'd probably sound weird considering I was dressed as Darkwing Duck.
Yeah, and I kept using the excuse...
Too expensive,
because... To meet him, it was $40, but to meet, like, Terrence and Katie, it was free, basically.
It was free.
Yeah. And so we were like, oh, no, maybe.
You had to pay for pictures.
Yes, you had to pay for pictures.
Because you had to go run by an ATM. That's right.
I ran to an ATM because he was like, I'm very, like, oh, I don't care, I'm not going to do it.
But then we got there.
And his, like, personal assistant or something, she was like, oh, like, get a picture. And I was like, You're right. Shit.
And so I waited. I chatted with the personal assistant. Yeah. She was very nice.
Yeah. And I was like, I remember coming back. I had to go through the whole line. Yeah. And I was like, oh no, like his assistant told me like I could just go
and I went and flagged you down. And I'm like, no.
So that was fun. But like we kept getting asked obviously by a lot of people if we were gonna meet him. And we're like...
No, it got to the point, like, whenever we passed the autograph room, I would run.
Oh, yeah.
Not run. I would speed walk out of some fear of him seeing me.
He was seated kind of right in front of the door.
Yes.
In one of the main halls.
Yeah.
So I would just go past.
I'd be like, Fabioria!
Yeah. So we went to the Darkwing Duck panel. That was really fun.
Very fun.
We met Queenie, right?
Yeah, we saw Queenie real quick.
Yes. So we were coming down, and it's like it's kind of far.
Yes, you have to go all the way around and then go down the stairs to then eventually go back to the exhibit.
To the exhibit hall.
And so the panel had just let out. And so we're at the top of this tall flight of stairs, and so down the flight of stairs in front of us is the big room with the autograph signings. Yeah. And standing at the bottom of the stairs is Jim Cummings, who sees me immediately. Because again, I am very prominently dressed as Darkwing Duck, And so he sees me. We lock eyes. I grab Faby. I'm like, Faby, stop. And you're like, what? I'm like,
he's down there. I was like, who? And I see him. And he's dressed like a normal dude. So at first I was like, who? And then I was like, oh my God.
And then other people see. Because I'm stopped at the top of the stairs. Like, not moving. As people moving around us. Yeah. And like people see me dressed as Darkwing Duck, and they see Jim Cummings at the bottom of the stairs.
And they're like,
and he's obviously sees me, and he like folds his arms, and he's like waiting for me to come down the stairs.
And Lynette was with us.
Yes.
And I was basically like, we have no choice but to go down.
Turn and run the other way.
So we make our way down.
Yes.
And like, you know, even after everything, I was still really anxious.
Yeah.
This is like a famous person
who
made eye contact with you.
Jesus. So we go down, we talk with him for a bit. I don't remember what we fucking said.
Oh, I don't either.
I have no clue. We tried to be chill. Like, I was losing my mind. Lynette thankfully did most of the talking. Yes. Thank God. I was losing my mind. I'm like, oh.
Though at the end, I do remember he said, oh, make sure to come and see me.
And we did not.
Because it's like, hey, I like your character, not you.
Not you.
I know that you probably would not like me as a person. That's kind of what it comes down to.
Yeah. But, yes, that's our fun story. When we were, like, trying to purposely avoid, like, meeting Jim Cummings in, like, the most convoluted ways, which included me running past the autograph sessions place. And then we meet him completely by fucking chance.
Yeah.
For free.
That's
at the bottom of the stairs and have, like, a prolonged 3-minute conversation with him.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, I was kind of like, you know what? We met him and we didn't have to pay him.
Yeah, we did. So we've been waiting to tell that story because we needed to preface it with the reason why we were avoiding him.
Yes. So yeah. Fun times.
So that's our fun story. Jeez. We went through that episode real quick.
We did. Really fast.
We did. Hopefully we're understandable.
I hope so. I have had trouble speaking for a couple of days. I'm just sleepy, and sometimes I go days without speaking to a human being. So
that would be. I wish. I've worked customer service for too long, and I've spoken to too many human beings. Not for a while though.
Yeah.
I quit Taco Bell, listeners.
Yay!
And on the day I quit, they were like omens, like never come back here. Mm-hmm. One. My manager quit on the exact same day I did. So for me, I put in my 2-week notice.
Yeah.
My manager texted my coworker, I'm quitting. I'm not going back. On that day.
I love it.
A man walked in wearing a Trump 2020 hat. Mm-hmm. And there was a horrible car accident right outside Taco Bell.
And luckily, you never went back.
And I never went back. I went back for my last paycheck.
Okay. No, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm free of Taco Bell. Don't eat there. If you do, it's not even that cheap. Unless you're getting just tacos.
Yeah,
it's not that cheap. McDonald's is probably better and cheaper.
Mm-hmm. I like the tacos at Jack in the Box. They're good.
They have tacos there.
Yeah, that's what I get. They're like $1.20 for 2.
It's better than Taco Bell. Taco Bell is $2.30 for 2 tacos.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hell yeah. Then yeah.
It's $2.30. Taco Bell sucks. I assume all foods in fast food places are made the same, in that it's in a large. We receive it all in a large bag. It's frozen, or at least very cold, and we dump each bag. So bagged meat, bagged chicken, bagged black beans, bagged nacho cheese, bagged steak. That's very gross. Ooh. And we put these bags in a big thing with a lid full of hot water that is 197 degrees. Oh. And we put that in there for half an hour. Mm-hmm. And then we take it out and we put it on the line. And then the beans, I'm just telling you guys this, you don't eat there. And our refried beans are fried beans. Dehydrated refried beans. Okay. And so they're like pellets. Like rabbit food. And we put that into a big thing that we serve it in, the thing that we put on the food line. Mm-hmm. And then we pour 3 quarts of hot water, 2 or 3 quarts of hot water.
Oh gosh.
3. And then pour that, and we stir it until it resembles a consistency
of bean,
of refried bean, and it's very gross. And I've never eaten it because it disgusts me.
Yeah,
the making it process, and Yeah. Our egg is called egg product.
It's not egg. It's kind of like...
I think egg is there.
Okay, but it's not like the main component.
I don't know. I read the ingredients, and there's a lot of chemical things, which doesn't mean it's bad.
Yeah.
But chemical things I did not understand. Egg was an ingredient.
It's like...
Though it is called on the box, it is egg product mix.
Yeah, like Bayer's ice cream can't legally be called ice cream.
Nice.
It can only be called dairy product.
Hate that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and then the egg is, like, blended, I guess, and then frozen. And so we have to put that in the hot water.
I hate it.
I always forget, I think it's called the thermalizer. I think that's what we call the hot water thing with the lid.
Makes sense.
I think it's a thermalizer. Yeah, so this is how Taco Bell food is made. We don't make it.
You assemble it.
All that's cooked is fried, and that is pizza shell. Not pizza shell. It's a corn tortilla that we fry, so it gets hard.
A tostada.
No, we have tostadas. That's different. We fry the pizza. We have Mexican pizza. We fry those tortillas to make the Mexican pizza. We fry the cinnamon twists, which is pasta. It's pasta that we fry, and then we put cinnamon on it. And what else do we fry? Oh, the taco salad bowls. It's a big corn tortilla that we have this special little shaped spatula thingy that we press it down into the fry oil to make it like hold the shape of a fancy bowl thing. And I want to say that is all we fry. Wait, no. Nacho chips, obviously.
Ooh.
Nacho chips and the Cinnabon delights. We fry all those.
Nice.
I think that's all.
It's been Taco Bell Secrets with Anna once again.
I don't work there anymore, so they couldn't find me if I did. So I think that's all. I'm sorry if I ruined Taco Bell for you. Not really. Don't eat there.
I mean, I once watched the whole how to make chicken nuggets thing, and I don't care.
That's true. If you still eat there, you probably don't care.
Yeah.
But just so you know.
The more you know.
Yes. I think that's all for us. This went all over the place.
Yeah.
I just had to share my Taco Bell disgust. All right. Anyway.
Yes.
You can find us on Amores Patos.
Which one?
On Twitter.
Okay.
Are we just Amores Patos on there? It's been a while.
You can find sometimes cute pictures of us at Disneyland. Like
we took pictures with the caballeros.
Yes.
Finally, we got them.
Yes.
So that was nice.
They were really fun.
I've never seen like face characters.
Yeah.
So like in costume characters be so engaged.
Yeah.
They were like not just us because I was all decked out. Like they were spinning everyone around and like having fun. It was very cute.
Shout out to Manny.
To Manny, the little kid in front of us who kept getting rejected because the people in front of us weren't done with their pictures yet. But people would keep being like, "Oh, Manny," and they're like, "Oh, no, sorry, Manny, not yet."
No. And also the cast, she was really great. She was like really like, "Oh, I love them too." So shout out to you. I don't know what your name was.
I'm sorry.
But no, like I remember like I was getting hugged by Panchito, Donald, and then at one point like Jose was reaching out his hand, and I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." Like, pardon me.
He's like, "Excuse me."
Yeah, pardon.
Yeah, it was really cute.
It was cute. Yeah, you can go there. You can also see us on Tumblr at amorespatospodcast.tumblr.com.
You can send us questions and stuff there, or just send us questions.
Yeah. To our email, we're also at amorespatospodcast@gmail.com.
If you don't have Twitter or Tumblr.
And that's it.
And it's all for us.
Yeah.
All right, saludos amigos.
Saludos amigos.